So, it's the first video of the new expansion, and since it's a new expansion, I thought I'd try something new, so this time I'm gonna be adding my voice instead of just typing words in the text, also because this would save me more time. So yeah, first video of the expansion, and I'm playing Rally Sword. I've been playing basically only Rally Sword for like the new expansion so far, and it's been pretty fun. So yeah, I'm making a video on it right now. This list focuses on using as many new cards as possible, so I'm running the Tree of Rosalie, the Tree of Dashing Duelist, Tree of Tears of Tribulation, the Vanguard Lancer. I'm not 100% if Rosalie especially is that strong in Rally, but I wanted to make use of the new card, so this is the list that I'm running with right now. It's pretty fun, and let's just look at some games. So for the first game, we're going second against Blood. And Blood's very popular right now, you'll probably see it a lot. Both Wrath and Evil are popular decks. For the Mulligan, going second, I would just keep Despotic Pawnmaker. In this game I did something different, but I would just keep Pawnmaker like right now. But Seeker of Love is good in the early game, of course. It's 1 PP, 1 rally. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Usually I like to pick Juliet. I rarely ever pick Romeo. Juliet is just more useful in the early game for dealing with board and for chipping damage depending on what you need. The ward comes in handy sometimes. Actually, honestly, the ward might have been the better pick here, but I picked not the ward. And here I'm playing out Mikhail because the rest of my 2 drops are more useful later on, so I'm saving them for later. Go in, especially if you want to play draw generally. Here I play Juliet instead of Kyrie because, well, Kyrie is more useful in my Evil turn. As you can see in my hand right now, I don't have anything to use for Evil next turn. So right now I'm planning to play Kyrie next turn with Evil and just get some card draw going and just get good use out of my Evil. And my opponent just ping their face while building a very wide board, which is something Wrath does a lot. Ideally you want to find Dashing Duelist against Wrath. You might even consider keeping it, honestly, because it's just so good, and there's the Dashing Duelist, so yeah. So early game, just get your rally count. This deck going second has a decent chance of just hitting rally 10 by turn 4, which is kind of ridiculous, but in this case it's gonna be a turn 5 rally 10 probably. Or maybe, well, I don't have this Spotted Pump because it's probably like a turn 6 rally 10. Anyway, just focus on trading, pinging face, getting a rally count, yeah. Right now I don't need Dashing Duelist, so I'm just going to play the new card, which summons 2 followers and then gives you the ability to heal off officers, which is like a fake Sarah, of course. The healing is very useful, so in aggressive matchups such as Wrath, you probably want to save the healing for when you actually need it instead of just playing it for rally. Unless you really need the rally, but in this case, well, I can get rally and get healing, which is very valuable. At this point, I am worried that I'm going to die to an OTK from Garadath, so I'm trying to set up wards. I'm just trying to decide what to fuse here, but yeah. Trying to set up wards to block the OTK. Usually, 9 times out of 10 you're using Rosalie for her fusion and transmute effect. In this deck, you don't use this effect that much because it burns through your hand really fast, but I sort of need the healing and the ward. Rosalie is probably effective at blocking the OTK from Blood, so she's very useful there. But here they managed to answer the board, which is not great for me, but they do spend their whole turn doing it, so it stalls me for another turn. Blood has a lot of healing, which is another annoying thing for this deck, which means you have to aim for an OTK. And generally your OTK comes at 8 PP, 7 PP only if you are very lucky and you high roll, but generally it's gonna be at 8 PP. So here I'm just trying to stall and survive. Unfortunately, Blood's OTK at turn 8 is usually quite consistent. Meanwhile, I have no way to stop it. The best way to stop Blood's OTK is to not leave a board, but in this case I kind of had to heal up. So just kind of hope that they don't kill me here. They don't have Evo point, which means that OTK using Hedonate, the new legendary, is not on the table. They didn't have a second Gyaradeath here, so luckily I managed to survive. And I have lethal here, so yeah. A bit lucky, but I would say that yeah, Rally's pretty fun deck. You should try the double twin blade is of course a very standard OTK. You just play both of them, they hit for 20, straightforward. Usually you wanna have like a Mikau in your deck to help you get rid of wards, but here they left the follower alive for me. So yeah, that's it. Next game. So for the second game, we are playing against Dragon. We're going first. Going first, the Mulligan, you just genuinely look for your cheap rally options. Seeker of Love is good at like keeping one. Dashing Duelist is not very good for early rally. You want to look for rally cards that summon 2 for 2. And of course, Pawnmaker is still very good going second. It's just not as important. It's still as good as when you go second, of course. It's just not as important because your Evo turn is later, so you could hopefully have more time to find it. Yeah. Here I played Tears of Tribulation because I wanted the rally. I don't have any better plays. Monica is better safe for when you actually hit rally 10, so that you can like actually like get the full effect out of her. In this turn, I wanted to keep my ward, so I just traded off Juliet and she just hit face. Straightforward rally things, just hit their face until they die. Normally if you're playing against ARM, you try and delay their armed dragon, their arm follower count as much as possible, but when you're playing Rally Sword, it's not really feasible to do that. So you just try to raise them and win. This matchup is a bit bad for Rally Sword because defense mode is such a big problem for this deck, but hopefully they won't use it, right? Yeah. Looks like they're playing some Condemned stuff in their list. They're leaving a very thin board, which is actually a bit annoying for trying to get good use out of Despotic Pawnmaker here. I believe... just gonna check. Yeah, I'm at rally 10. So I could play Monica here, but I think I have no payoff for her in my hand, so I'd rather just draw up Asuka and Shiori while I have time and save Monica for when I actually have some storms to buff with it. They actually had the option to lock my board here, but fortunately for me they are proactively clearing it. I guess they're trying to find their pieces too. Again, just trying to find good cards off Asuka and Shiori while they are still not having a threatening board. We don't want to play stuff like Opulent like too early because we need the healing and the board clear for defense mode especially. So I'm just gonna develop Monica here and just ping their face here where I can. And that's the defense mode, which is what we were not hoping for, we were preparing for when we were saving the Opulent strategist in hand. So thanks to the Opulent, I should be able to answer this board. I guess when it comes to Opulent turns, you sort of have to plan out quite heavily what you want to do. So this one took me a bit to plan, but I mean, on the replay it looks instantaneous, I guess. So here, Tears of Tribulation is very valuable because I realized I can keep both Opulent. I can keep my Opulent alive while clearing their defense mode. So, hiding it behind a ward is probably very annoying for them. So that's the play I'm going with. Of course, if they had Swift Blade Dragon, they could just clear it, but the idea is that hiding Opulent behind a ward will make it very difficult to clear. I thought they nailed Levitate, but they just had another one. Here they're forced to use attack mode. It's pretty much the only thing that can clear Opulent. It doesn't seem like they have a better option. And because they didn't get to put defense mode up here, I believe I just have lethal. Yeah, I do have lethal, easily. And yeah, that's a pretty decent game. Armed is still a bit of a difficult matchup, so you go watch out for that. And the last game is the next game. Yeah. So for the last game, we have the Barbaro's leader against Barbaro's leader matchup. Of course, going first is usually favored when you're playing Rally Sword, or just this game in general. Probably should have kept the Despotic Pawn Maker here, but as you can see, I somehow ended up with 3 Dashing Duelists, which is not a great hand, but luckily that was a very strong top deck. Another thing that makes Seeker of Love so powerful in this deck is it gives you a turn 1 and 3 play, and you have a lot of 2 drops, so usually your curve is quite smooth as long as you manage to find Seeker of Love. And here I'm just playing Dashing Duelist because I have nothing better to do. And it looks like they are also on the Dashing Duelist hand. So here I'm just trading to keep Dashing Duelist as healthy as possible. You know, just keep your ward healthy so they have more trouble dealing with your board. And so they're running Aggressive Advance, which I do not run because, I don't know, I just don't want to use it right now. The board is just Heavy Knights. I can just ignore them and go face. I'm not worried about Monica here because my board is wider than theirs, so even if they try to use Monica to buff those two, I still have a lot of board to work with, and Monica doesn't clear it. So here they're using Dashing Duelist to clear it, so they also have 2 Dashing Duelists in their hand. But, well, fortunately I do have my own Dashing Duelist to answer this. And then just Wandering Knight to help finish off the rest of their board. Here I didn't play Vanguard Lancer. As you can see, I'm on Rally 8, so playing Vanguard Lancer here wouldn't have put me at Rally 10 anyway. And you're better, in this case, you're better off saving Dashing Vanguard Lancer for buffing your Agile Twin Blader or hitting lethals with it. It's actually a pretty high value lethal option. It represents up to 5 damage 1 PT if you have an evil point and you buff Agile Twin Blader. So they are at Rally 10, so unlike me, their Monica is active here. Monica is a huge value, very valuable against the Sword Mirror, because the buff is actually just generally annoying to deal with unless you use Opulent to clear. But here I play my last Dashing Duelist and just clear the board, and under the assumption that they shouldn't be able to kill me this turn, which I am quite sure they shouldn't be able to do. And if I look at my rally here, I am at rally 11, which means that I am not quite able to activate Twin Blader next turn yet. So their board is like a bit scary, but as you can see, they have no hand cards. So I'm not super worried. As long as I make it the next turn, I should be able to have lethal. So I'm just trying to draw some good cards of Kyrie to deal with their board and just heal up. Opulent especially, of course. Here I am seeing 2 Agile Twin Bladers in my hand for next turn, so I'm not worried about being able to kill next turn, which is why I have chosen to trade with Rosalie here instead of hitting face with it, and I believe that this should maximize the chance of me surviving this turn, so I don't die to a stray Agile Twin Blader or something like that. Here they're actually running Advent Lord, which I didn't expect. I didn't expect them to just pull out a ward like that, which might be a bit annoying for me. But lucky for me, they don't heal beyond 15, so I still have lethal. And here you get to see Agile Twin Blader's effect of gaining 2 defense actually being useful for once. It's not often you see this happen, but yeah, it's a pretty clean game against Rally, pretty fun game. And yeah, that's the rest of the games. So those are the games that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed them and hope you got a good look at how Rally works, or at least this list works. Certainly there's probably room for improvement for the deck. Of course, I'm sort of forcing the Rosalie in. I don't think Rosalie is that strong. You can probably drop her down to 2 run something more useful. I mean, it's still the first few days of the expansion. There is still room for improvement, of course. I've heard that rally is actually pretty strong, apparently, according to most people, but yeah, so maybe you should give it a try yourself. There's also a trial deck for it, temporary deck for it if you want to buy it from the store. And if it looks fun for you, use the QR code, copy the deck if you want, and yeah, I think the deck's pretty fun. I don't know how strong it is. It's maybe like tier 2, I would say. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Do all the usual, you know, the liking and the subscribing and the whatever the heck YouTubers say and all that stuff if you want, and I will see you in the next time. Oh, and also feel free to let me know if you prefer the voiced version more, or like if I just type all the text and put it on the screen, because honestly this way saves me more time, but I can understand if maybe you prefer if you're just looking at the text on the screen and you just want to listen to the game music and audio without hearing my voice over it. So yeah, until next time, bye bye.